What's up, nerds? So, I watched Star Trek Discovery Episode 6, and we are now over halfway through this season. And I want to say about this episode, I'm not going to talk positive about it because I didn't think the episode was like amazing or anything, but I did feel it was somewhat of in the old Star Trek fashion in terms of they go to a planet that's pre-warp, they disguise themselves, they try to, help out the people there, and they run into a problem and everything. And I did think that it was very reminiscent of old Star Trek, but it still wasn't that great because I'm sorry, it's Star Trek Discovery, and New Trek has, in my opinion, has just been pure shit the whole way through. So I mean, except for Picard season 3, that was really good, and then Strange New Worlds was season 1 wasn't too bad. It was okay. It wasn't my favorite, but it was not it wasn't bad. Okay, so now I'm going to run through this breakdown with you guys. I won't try to take up too much of your time, give you my thoughts of the episode during the breakdown, and then tell you my overall thoughts at the very end and everything. So I will catch you at the other side of this, but let's do this breakdown now. All right, here we go. Okay, so Kovich identifies 5 scientists who hid the map pieces, allowing Discovery to determine that the next clue is pointing to a Dobinian weather tower on Helino, which holds off deadly sandstorms and provides rain. Okay, so whenever they kept saying that, I think it's the Helminites or the Helmino or whatever, all I know is, and don't get shitty with me about pronunciation because I don't care, but I loved it because I just kept thinking of Hellmann's mayonnaise and stuff, and I was just like, that's funny, makes me laugh. Okay, so they find these Kovich, love Kovich though. They find all these scientists, these 5 scientists that helped hide all this shit. And one of them was, a Delobian or whatever. Anyways, it doesn't matter how to pronounce that. Anyways, so he put it on this planet that's like a desert planet, but he created these weather towers to create rain. And he did it. They picked this planet because they felt like their planet was probably the same, and that they wouldn't be able to create rain for themselves, so they had to create this technology, and he was just trying to help the people. And so they go to this planet, and I thought the planet was pretty decent in terms of like the way it looked, and I liked the little mountain top thingies, even though it wasn't a mountain. But anyways, I liked this planet. The tower is concealed as a mountain to hide the advanced technology from the Helminites, a pre-warp society that should not be interfered with per Starfleet's prime directive. So one thing that I also liked about this planet was the concealing of the water tower or the weather tower. I thought that was really clever and everything, and I thought that inside it looked pretty cool, and then outside it looked pretty cool. So I do that. There's a positive on that. As soon as they mentioned the prime directive, I was like, all right, let's see how Michael Burnham is gonna fuck this up again, because that's her role. That's her lot in this show. It's not a lot, but that's her role, and it's really annoying. But yeah, because they're pre-warp and the prime directive. So yeah. Now, Burnham and Tilly join the Helminites in disguise with the help from Adira. Burnham repairs the tower's malfunctioning control panel, while Tilly participates in this race to gain access to the tower. So Tilly and Michael, they are in this little race, right? And as soon as they were in this race, I was like, Fat Girl is going to be in this race. Fat Girl going to go splat and everything. But Fat Girl, of course, won. But we'll get to that in just a second. But the whole time I'm all like, they eat this little sand cube or whatnot, and they're just trucking along. And, Tilly's all like, we got to keep going. We got to keep going. And I'm all like, Tilly, like, listen, homegirl, I liked you season 1, but you have become quite annoying, in my opinion. And I was just like, you gotta fail or whatnot. But Burnham gives up, right? And Adria, who is all like, oh, I let the bug on board. And I'm like, I thought you were gone, honey. I wish you would have just stayed on Trill with your boyfriend, so that way I didn't have to deal with you anymore, because this shit is annoying. I just don't like Adria and the acting level on this. Does she have to say every time she gets asked a question? Like, hey, how do you fix this? I don't know. I have 4 chins. I know I'm saying that. Hey, guys. This is my look permanently. and everything. So quite annoying. Okay, so then she finds that little panel, right? And I was like, this is very like, I felt that this part was very reminiscent of old Trek, and I was like, especially like Deep Space Nine per se, and I didn't mind it. So then they fixed it, and I was like, and she's like, they're gonna have to, it's gonna need maintenance. And I was like, okay, let's see how. And as soon as they keep saying these little breadcrumbs, I'm like, they are gonna break the Prime Directive. Watch and see. Tilly and one of the Helmanites, Rava, they win the race, right? And are locked inside the tower as sacrifices to the Helmanite gods. So Tilly wins and everything with Rava, and they're up inside the little thing, right? And they have to sacrifice themselves, but really it's just this tower, because it's enclosed, it sucks out all the air to bring water, and you die because you can't breathe. And so I thought that was clever in terms of the episode, and I liked how it was, again, also kind of reminiscent of old Trek. But I just, again, at the end of the day, I was just like, whatever. Burnham violates the Prime Directive to free them and reveal to the Helmanites that the tower is advanced technology, which requires no sacrifice. So, of course, Burnham, Michelle, she breaks the Prime Directive. And I want to just say right now, I don't think there's going to be any repercussions for this, because we've never seen repercussions happen to Michael Burnham for breaking the rules before. She has never gotten in trouble. And if she has, she's gotten out of it and never had to go back. For instance, that first season when she breaks the rules and, starts a fight with the Klingons, she's given a free pass and she's let out of jail free card. And then since that point forward, she has never had to answer for her breaking the rules. And I just go, this is not reminiscent of real life. In real life, when you break the rules in, say, the Navy, you have to face consequences for that. And that's the problem with this show, that I find a huge problem with this show. And watch, she won't face consequences for this. Watch, she won't face consequences. The next episode, she's still going to be captain of that damn ship looking for these things. They're going to be like, you did a bad thing, but since you're looking for these clues, we're going to let you go because you're the only one in Starfleet that can find it. And I go, that's bullshit. So we'll see how that turns out, but I don't have faith that this show will be able to turn things around in terms of the way that they see things, in terms of repercussions for their actions. They retrieve the map piece and the next clue before being informed that Maul and Locke have been found. So they find the map piece and the clue. We didn't get a hint of what the clue was. And then they're like, we found Locke and Maul. And I'm like, okay, great. I don't care. Locke and Maul, who's that? I don't care. I literally don't care about Locke and Maul at all. Like, they're just the worst bad guys because I just don't give a shit. And so we're just going to have to keep chugging along with these two assholes. But let's see. Meanwhile, Coulter receives help from Stamets and Book as he struggles to come to terms with the impact of the shared body experience on his spirituality. So this whole episode, Culber has been talking to his dead grandma, his abuela, and learning about recipes, which I'm like, okay, great. And there's questioning about spirituality. This is the thing that I don't like about shows like this is, like, it's like science and religion. I like science. I love science. I don't understand everything in science, but I love it. But when it comes to religion, I don't like when people are like, well, you can't prove it, so it doesn't exist. And I go, that's the point of religion. It's faith-based. And faith is when you believe in something that you can't prove. Okay? So you have faith. And I don't like it when this one, because sometimes it makes me question, like, they're just trying to say, like, spirituality or, religion is just nonsense. And I go, you shouldn't, condemn someone's beliefs just because you don't believe in it, Like, I don't believe in everything everybody else believes in, but I don't sit here and be all like, well, the stuff you believe is crap. Unless it's science-based. Science is just, there's peer review and you constantly test somebody's thing. You know how science works. Okay, so now let me get to this whole. So I just when that stuff started coming in there, I was kind of getting a little bit like, what's this show trying to do? But they've had stuff like that in the past, so I mean, it's not like something new. Okay, so now overall, this episode, like I said before, it was just bland because I was kind of bored the whole time. Like I was just like, okay, because these are characters I literally don't care about these characters. If it was me, I wouldn't have put Tilly in there, but they put Tilly in there. I would have put one of the bridge crew in there with her, with Burnham, because she had to be one of those. Because if you know, like in the past Star Trek, it was the captain, say like Picard, and say number one, you know, or it was, you know, a Data, or, you know, LaForge. One of the other, you know, bridge members would go on missions with the captain, aka Picard. But in this one, Burnham gets one of the people that are not a part of the bridge crew. And I'm like, so it's like all these characters, and Burnham herself, I just don't care about these characters. Like I literally have gone through 4 seasons of Burnham being an insufferable bitch, and I just, at this point, I just don't like her. So anything you do at this point in time, it will not endear me to her because I just don't care. And we're on the home stretch. So I just go, she fuck off, Michael Burnham. And Tilly, I just don't care about Tilly either anymore. Like they had an opportunity and they just squandered it. You know, season 1, I thought she was very like fun and I liked her. But after that, like they just like completely just went off the rails with that character. So overall, this episode was very just like, okay, I don't care. You know, they can't breathe. I can't breathe. So I just don't care about this show or, you know, what happens to these characters at this point in time. I'm not hate watching it because I don't go into it just immediately going, I'm going to shit all over this show. I just immediately go into, this is still going to be bland and mediocre the way it's always been. And so, therefore, I just don't care. But tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What was your favorite part? Are you like me and you thought it was very kind of reminiscent of old Star Trek? Or did you just were like, no, the writers have lost their way. There's no way they can find the path back down to goodness, you know? But tell me what you guys thought. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. You know, I won't mind if you're on my channel. Please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on my next Star Trek Discovery breakdown and review. You guys have a good week. Live long and prosper. Bye.